Smith, the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America. Arkansas Game Day is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Looks downfield, got a man wide open at the 15, complete. That's Hazelwood, touchback at the 10, into the end zone, touchdown Arkansas.
Our coverage is presented by High Tech Truck Refrigeration Service. Find them at hightechtruck.com. Washita Farms. Lark is available in 4 amazing flavors in 200 locations throughout Arkansas. And by Crabtree RV. Let's go camping at crabtreerv.com.
Hey, welcome into Arkansas Game Day as we are live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and Provo, Utah. Hogs Cougars today, 2:30. Tommy, we're in some pretty unique locations this morning. You're at Bam Bam's Barbecue, and I'm in a frump.
A what?
Probably need a frump. You know what a frump is?
Well, I know there's an article of clothing that kind of goes by a name like that or similar, but I'm guessing you haven't changed your wardrobe today.
No, I've not. No, I'm in my typical
I'm going to guess
polo.
You're not wearing is there like a women's jumpsuit type deal that's called a frump?
I could see that being the case.
I don't think you're wearing one of those. Or?
Nope. I'm in my typical khakis, polo, tennis shoes get up. But a frump is a front tailgate, and I am in one of these suckers right here at Randall Ford, and this is how you do it. My legs are perched up nice and right off the tailgate. I've got my computer on me. I've got a nice little cushion that I'm sitting on, and we're doing the show from here this morning. Now, I can smell the barbecue from where you're at. You got a chance already with Marcus to go through Bam Bam's a little bit.
Well, I'm at the foothills, the base of the Wasatch Mountains, just about 2.5 miles from LaVell Edwards Stadium. In Orem, Utah. I mean, I'm about a 5-minute drive over to the stadium at Bam Bam's. I know there's some folks that have already tried Bam Bam's. It's amazing how many Razorback fans have made the trek out here and enjoy Utah. So for those that might be listening online, come by and see us. We are here at Bam Bam's, and it smells. I mean, if they could make a cologne that men would actually like to wear, it would smell like this place because it smells like barbecue. And Marcus already stole my heart when I said, well, what's your specialty? He said brisket. He said brisket's the thing that we're known for. It's what I'm best at. So they got brisket. He's got whole turkeys coming off. So, we're going to feast this morning during Arkansas Game Day.
What a day we have in front of us. And, again, kind of in unique locations this morning. Yeah. I think I'm going to do the show here every time I come to Randall Ford from now on from the front. Forget the table and just the pull-out chair. I'd rather do it from this thing. I've never done it from a tailgate type of operation before, but it's fun. Lots to talk about. You heard Chuck talk with Jason Shepard before we came on the latest edition of the Give Me the Hogs Chuck podcast, and just kind of the setup at Provo, what the Cougars are offering up today. Tommy, the line has shifted. It's kind of been weird. So it started out as 2.5, 2 in favor of the Cougars. Then it went to 2.5 in favor of the Razorbacks. It's now a pick 'em this morning. The money's kind of gone every which way when it comes to this line.
Yeah, and it tells you that some real uncertainty depending on who you're asking about what this game's going to do today. So I think it is a toss-up game. And, with the Cougars at home, do you give them the edge based on that? That if you're looking at the expert analysis, maybe they think the Hogs are a little bit better on paper, but with the home edge, that the Cougars might win the game. I think this game comes down to some of the basics we talk about every week. Which team doesn't turn the football over? Which team doesn't self-inflict mistakes with penalties at the wrong time? And for Arkansas today, it's got to be about red zone offense. It's got to be about ball security at the goal line. That's where Arkansas has had their troubles, and that's getting to the goal line. And they've had a couple of instances this year where they've coughed the football up. It cost them in the A&M game. They struggled twice in the red zone last week. That, to me, is where Arkansas needs to come out early and then consistently get that offense going. When you get deep in the red zone, you got to find a way to get it in every time.
Now, Maddie and I were talking about it's going to get up to 90 degrees back here in Arkansas. David messages it on Facebook. How cold is it out there in Provo, Tommy?
The temperatures overnight aren't bad at all. It's about like at home in the 40s. Is what we've experienced pretty much overnight here in Utah. Had a low this morning. I think it was 42 degrees here in Orem, where I'm at. The low was 39. High today is supposed to be 73, but about game time is going to be in the upper 60s at kickoff, which is 1:30 locally, 2:30 back in Arkansas. So, picture perfect day for college football. layer up with maybe a quarter zip to start the day, and you peel that off at some point probably before you go into the stadium. It's going to be ideal. I went over to LaVelle Edwards yesterday, just kind of check the scene out, figure out the logistics, and I mean it's as picturesque as you've seen online, looking at photos or watching on TV. The Wasatch Mountains in the background. It is not a overwhelming stadium like we see in the SEC so much, with 2 and 3 and 4 decks sometimes going up. It is not nearly anything like that, but you can see with the way this thing's bowled in, the mountains in the back, I bet this place gets loud later on today.
I think it's going to be a fun atmosphere, and you were talking about last night when discussing with Marcus, the GM there, that there are several Arkansas fans that covered his restaurant, and you run into a few. Did you run into a few more after the shows yesterday?
Yeah, and I had dinner last night over at the Marriott in Provo. That's where the team happened to be staying as well. Met a group of people over there, and you see the team around, and there was quite a few fans, and I'm sure many of them were parents and relatives of the players. That's what you'd expect to see in that kind of setting. But everywhere you go, you're going to run into one or two families of Razorback fans that are here. So I think people have used the last few days as a chance to get away, experience something new and different. I know Arkansas is scheduled to make a return trip out here, but I wonder if that will happen with all the realignment on both sides, because remember, BYU goes to the Big 12 very soon, and Arkansas in the SEC that's expanding is probably going to face a 9-game conference schedule. This may or may not be the last time Arkansas comes to Provo, but I'm kind of treating it, in my mind, it may be, because I'm not sure with the new conference realignment and expansion of schedule that a game like this will survive in a few years.
Yeah, so take advantage of it. This is a game that you wanted to go to. Some other fans. I actually was with a friend last night. Tommy, his flight was delayed out of XNA. Then he shifted it to Fort Smith. It was delayed out of there. He was going to miss his connector. So he actually had to buy an additional Delta flight this morning coming out of Dallas, and he's going to make his way to Provo today. I know there's several others that you talked about earlier this week that came a little early. Some, hopefully, there will be no cancellations, knock on wood, as you're trying to make your way to Salt Lake this morning.
Yeah, and feel bad for people that, you made your plans, you got your rental car, you got your hotel, you got all that set up, and then the airlines messed that up for you. I was reading a tweet from someone last night that a bunch of Hog fans were apparently stuck at Love Field in Dallas on the same situation I was on Wednesday, getting out here, that their flight was delayed, and they were worried about it being canceled. You get here to Salt Lake, and the airport, as far as the car rentals and stuff, shut down between midnight and 1. So hopefully everybody got able to get what they need, because from Salt Lake down to Provo it's a full hour's drive, and depending on where you're staying, probably could make for an early morning. So hopefully everybody got in safe, and I think I'd be surprised if the Razorbacks didn't have somewhere between 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 fans here. They'll stand out because it's a whiteout today in Provo for BYU's fans. They're going to wear their road uniforms today and kind of make it a big special day of Arkansas coming to town and a celebration of football today. So Arkansas, I presume, will be in their reds because they're obviously not wearing their whites as well.
Our number is 877-377-6963. You can text, you can call us. You can also reply via Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at any point this morning. Tommy's live in Provo. I'm here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. So we were talking about you spent some time at the Marriott last night for dinner. What are some other places, because I didn't get a chance to talk to you after the show yesterday. Where else did you go yesterday?
Well, I split my day. I went half the day in the morning up to Salt Lake and just kind of drove around the downtown area, saw the Capitol building, saw the Tabernacle Choir, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and where it comes from, and that unique look of that building. Had lunch at the Red Iguana, who's supposed to, by all accounts, the top Mexican food restaurant in the area, and it was very good. And then later on that afternoon, I came down to Provo and went to the stadium, checked it out, and checked out Bam Bam's Barbecue to make sure we were good for today, and then had dinner with a group of friends last night over at they were staying at the Marriott, so then made my way back. So it's been a lot of fun coming out here to Utah and experiencing something that I think, unless you've been here before, it's unlike any other place. It's kind of like Arizona in the south. It's kind of like Colorado in the north. It's a very neat setting here in Utah.
Text from Aaron this morning. Now, I don't want to have to imagine this possibility, but it is one when you go to this place and it's going to be a competitive game. Where does the team go from here if they lose, and how does that affect the recruiting class this upcoming season?
I think that's hard to say or for us to answer how to affect the recruiting class. I mean, obviously, if you win more, you feel like, that gets you the attention you want. I think it's important to win because you're going into the bye week. I mean, there's a lot of – I've heard a few people say, this is how the importance of this week can't be overstated. Jobs are on the line. I don't think it's anything near, hey, they're going to be looking at making changes in the coaching staff if they don't win this game. I think that is a huge overreaction. I think you've got clear reasons what has happened in the last 3 games, including just playing Alabama, number one. Injuries and problems with personnel have been a big problem the last couple of weeks. But I think more for the kind of the mental state of mind of everyone, from fans to coaches to players. It's important to win this game. 4-game losing skids will test your mettle, and I think you need to avoid that just because you don't want to limp into a bye week on 4 straight losses, and that I think opens the door for a trip to Alabama or a trip to Auburn, down to Auburn, Alabama, where Ty should win that game, and I think a loss here could really put you in the wrong state of mind maybe.
I need you to do some digging and see if Miles Slusher, Kari, and Jaden Johnson are going to be playing later on today. I know that was kind of the mood. Was KJ going to play last week in Starkville? Coach said he was available, didn't end up playing. Yeah. The addition that you could potentially get with Miles Slusher, I think, would be monumental. It sure didn't seem like Coach was confident earlier the week if he was going to play or not, though.
The players were there in the hotel, as you'd expect to see. It didn't appear that they left to go to a movie or anything of that nature, and looked as though they were having dinner in the hotel. They were easily identifiable. They were all wearing their team kind of windsuits. So, as far as what players are available or not, I mean, that's going to be a key thing to watch in pregame today is Slusher out there and Johnson and some of these players that you need just for depth on the defensive side.
We're live here on Arkansas Game Day, ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Tommy's at Provo and Bam Bam's Barbecue. I'm here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith in their front. Again, it's a front tailgate. You're going to have to come see it. We'll put it out on social media later today. Come check out the full-side Broncos, a retro Ford F-150, the Mach 1 Mustang that's sitting right next to me, plus new Explorers, F-150s, Escapes, and Expeditions. Come by and see us at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Still a lot to get to live here on Arkansas Game Day.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
The Party Place, Arkansas's largest locally owned party supply store, now has 50% off all Halloween decorations. Hurry while supplies last. A large selection of costumes available all year long, starting at $9.99. Animatronics, accessories, makeup, masks, wigs, and so much more. 10% off for veterans, teachers, and first responders, and now 10% off when the Hogs play on game day. Shop local at your locally owned Party Palace. Locations in Fort Smith, Rogers, and Conway.
Stop by and see us at Randall Ford if you're in the mood to go retro. And when I'm talking retro, I mean a early 80s look on a truck that is brand new. We have a 2022 F-150 setting right out front. This thing's had the two-tone paint added to it. It's grabber blue with the center silver. Has the KC lights that's been added to it. It's been lifted and leveled. The old school looking tires and wheels on it with a brush guard and the running boards on it. This truck is a one of a kind. Come see it today at Randall Ford in Fort Smith.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
I'm Steve Womack, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message. This election isn't about me. It's about the future of our nation. In less than 2 years, we've watched the radical policies of the far left unleash crisis after crisis. The Biden-Pelosi agenda has wrecked our economy, making it harder for families to put food on the table and gas in their cars. It's destroyed our energy independence, left our borders wide open, and undermined national security. Their response? Raise your taxes, spend more money, and supersize the IRS. It's only strengthened my resolve to preserve freedom and defeat these socialist ideas. If you're like me and committed to upholding the Constitution, protecting individual liberty, and prioritizing responsible spending and regulatory relief, I humbly ask for your support in this election. Together, we will secure the promise of Arkansas and America for future generations. Paid for by Womack for Congress.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter Agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
For over 30 years, our Landry's New Orleans Cafe has been the River Valley's favorite seafood, Cajun, and steakhouse. Now serving the best game day trays to go, including crawfish etouffee, seafood pasta, bourbon street chicken, blackened catfish, and more. They also do catering, pickup, and delivery. Our Landry's New Orleans Cafe, 613 Garrison Street in downtown Fort Smith. Open Tuesday through Thursday from 5 to 8 and Friday and Saturday from 5 to 9. 783-2505.
Now booking Christmas parties.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Burnham, bad snap. Ball's on the ground. Inside the 5. Burnham's going to fall on it at the 3. A bad snap, and Arkansas is going to have it first and goal to go.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Back here at Randall Ford, I'm in the front of a Ford Lightning here, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tommy's in Provo, Utah at Bam Bam's Barbecue. Now, Tommy, you're telling me before College Game Day started this morning, or I guess when it started this morning, Lane Kiffin was brought in to the set as they're in Knoxville, and he said something a little entertaining, didn't he?
Well, he's there, at his game, but they did this with Sam Pittman a month or so ago, where they, put some AirPods in his ears and talked to him, and they were asking him about his team, and then the conversation ultimately turned to the Alabama-Tennessee game, which he obviously has a connection with both of those schools. Both. And last year throwing the golf balls and the mustard and all that stuff at him at Tennessee, and obviously his time at Alabama. They asked him, hey, you may not be aware this game's being played today. It's kind of a joke, and of course he knew. And they said, well, do you have anything to say? They're there, and the crowd's in the background. And he says, yeah, let's beat the state of Alabama, go Vols. and the crowd erupts, and Reese Davis perfectly sums it up, says, all is forgiven.
All is forgiven.
All is forgiven. So
Lane Kiffin knows how to play.
So he chose sides. You know, a lot of times coaches won't choose sides. He chose sides. So
he's a smart guy, and you were kind of asking me yesterday about, we were talking about the SEC and our SEC update at the end of the morning rush. And listen, you can hate Lane Kiffin all you want, but he's got a few years under his belt now as a head coach. He learned from his mistakes, and Ole Miss is a tough program, man. That is going to be a tough team when they come to Fayetteville at the very kind of middle part, end of November. Just not easy, dude. Not easy at all.
No, I mean, that's what makes this game important today for Arkansas and BYU because of the schedule. You know, you get the game today, you need a win to get to 4 today. Bye week, you need to go to Auburn and get your 5th win, because I don't think LSU or Ole Miss, even being at home, there's nothing that makes you feel like Arkansas has an edge, at least today. Now, those games are, a month out. Right now, you feel like Arkansas is going to be the underdog in both of those cases, it appears. Today, Ole Miss favored by 15.5 at home over Auburn. So those are going to be critical games in bowl stats. You wouldn't want to come down and have to win both of those games to get bowl eligible. You like your chances against Missouri, even on the road, but that's what makes this game so important, because LSU and Ole Miss are playing ahead of expectations. I know LSU got thumped by Tennessee last week, but they've been better than we thought they were going to be when they left that game with Florida State to open the season. I
think Bryce Young's going to end up playing today in Knoxville, and you have been very vocal this week that if he plays, you think Alabama's going to win anywhere from 10 to 17 points. Going to have to wait and see on that. But, I mean, this is a guy, even with an injury, is just lethal. And we saw the difference that he provided when he's on the field, particularly in that A&M game where Jaden Milrose struggled a little bit with that offense. It's going to be a tough place. I mean, there's 100,000, as you always refer to, 100,000, the most first 100,000-seat stadium in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. And, man, they probably have not had something to cheer as loud as they're going to since maybe 06, 07 when they went to the SEC championship game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of the best atmospheres in how long at Neyland Stadium. I mean, I'm sure every year for the Bama game it's special, but probably going back to Lane Kiffin when he was there at Tennessee and they played Alabama. And Alabama had, I think it was Terrence Cody had to block a kick at the end to preserve the win for Alabama. I still remember him coming off that right edge defensively and blocking that kick. I mean, Mount Cody saved the day for Bama. I mean, there's probably not been an atmosphere like you'll see today, and certainly the build-up and the hype in a long time. So, I mean, it's the hottest ticket. It's one of the premier games. I mean, there's not a deep amount of games, but, I mean, historically, this is one of the best weekends when you look at all of the 5-0 or 6-0 teams that are playing each other, starting with Penn State and Michigan State. You've got this game we're talking about here with Bama and Tennessee. There's a lot of things that are going to get decided today. As far as what's going on with the top 25, the top 10, and maybe the inside lanes towards the first college football playoff release coming up as well.
Sneaky good game tonight in Lexington between the Bulldogs and the Kentucky Wildcats. Will Levis looks like he's going to be back later on tonight for Kentucky. I know that they've had a few bumps in the road so far this season in Oxford and then losing to South Carolina last week, and they'd like to respond, get a win. We know Rodgers. We saw him firsthand how good of a quarterback he is. He's got some. Hooker's got some Heisman hopeful stuff that he'd love to accomplish today. But Will Rodgers kind of in that same boat. If he's worthy of that trophy, you make a statement in Lexington later on tonight.
Yeah, he's over 2,100 yards already for the years, thrown 22 touchdowns to this point. If State's a contender to be the number 2 team in the West and perhaps even win the West, which they've already lost a game, dropped a game to LSU. This is an important game, and they need help with Bama. So I guess if you're a Mississippi State fan, you're rooting for Tennessee today and got to go beat Kentucky.
877-377-6963, our number to call or text in. Again, reminder, if you're in the Provo area, Tommy is live at Bam Bam's Barbecue. It's literally only about 2.5 miles from LaVell Edwards Stadium. I'm at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith in a frump in their brand-new Ford Lightning. Still got an hour and a half here on Arkansas Game Day. A lot to get to, including more college games, and we'll come back to the conversation. That is BYU and Arkansas. Stay with us.
Stop by and see us at Randall Ford if you're in the mood to go retro. And when I'm talking retro, I mean a early 80s look on a truck that is brand new. We have a 2022 F-150 setting right out front. This thing's had the two-tone paint added to it. It's grabber blue with the center silver. Has the KC lights that's been added to it. It's been lifted and leveled. The old school looking tires and wheels on it with a brush guard and the running boards on it. This truck is a one of a kind. Come see it today at Randall Ford in Fort Smith.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Light beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Are you an experienced concrete finisher? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Are you an experienced dump truck driver? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service is all about God, family, and our country, and they proudly display the red, white, and blue. At High-Tech, they specialize in truck and trailer repair, service, and are certified in refrigeration repair. And every day, give thanks to those who have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for folks like you and me. High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service, located in Van Buren at 6410 Alma Highway or at 479-474-2220.
Van Alma Tire Center is always right around the corner from you with all the major brand tires for you to choose from. Bridgestone, Firestone, Cooper, and more. Turn into Van Alma Tire Center for all your tire needs, alignments, oil changes, brakes, and more. With service you can depend on, Van Alma Tire Center is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle and tire needs. Right around the corner at 6805 Alma Highway, 5 miles east of Van Buren and 2 miles west of Alma.
Fall has arrived. That means woo pigs, tailgate parties, apple festivals, and pumpkin spice, and everything nice. Don't miss the fun because your car won't run. Drive into fall with automotive maintenance and repairs you can trust from W&W Automotive. This is Mark at W&W. We offer affordable repair solutions for all makes and models, foreign or domestic, including front-end work and alignments. Call me or Kelly at 242-1600 or come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Do you have concerns about the integrity of your roof? Liberty Roofing of Fort Smith and the surrounding area is here and ready to serve you. Liberty Roofing is here for all your roofing needs. Quality roofing services, licensed, insured, and certified. Give Liberty Roofing a call at 650-6231 to get started for a free roof inspection and estimate. Call 650-6231. Liberty Roofing is here to tend to all your roofing needs. Let Liberty Roofing cover you. Check us out on Facebook.
Here we go.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
Well, this town is a pigskin paradise.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
This is Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America. Arkansas Game Day is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Looks downfield, got a man wide open at the 15, complete. That's Hazelwood, cuts back at the 10, into the end zone, touchdown Arkansas.
Our coverage is presented by High Tech Truck Refrigeration Service. Find them at hightechtruck.com. Washita Farms. Lark is available in 4 amazing flavors in 200 locations throughout Arkansas. And by Crabtree RV. Let's go camping at crabtreerv.com.
And back here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tommy is live at Bam Bam's Barbecue in Provo. We've got Rocky here with us this morning. Now, I was instructed by your boss, Jeremy Tissington, who's the GM here at this fine dealership, Rocky, that you and Billy might go a little back and forth today. You as a Tennessee fan, him as an Alabama fan. So it's an interesting dynamic here at Randall Ford. We got the Arkansas BYU game at 2:30, and then you guys play at 2:30 as well.
That's correct. Yeah, me and Billy, we've been talking back and forth about it all week long. We're going to be buddies at the end of the day. The sun's going to come up tomorrow most likely, so we'll see it through. But, yeah, tons of excitement here. Matter of fact, I lost a little bit of sleep last night over this game. Never have done that, over a football game.
Tommy, did you sleep well last night?
I slept like a rock. Rocky, that doesn't sound like a confident Tennessee fan to me.
Buddy, that's excitement. I've not been this excited since I can remember watching football. We have not been good, and we're finally in the talks, and I'm fired up.
What is it? 15 straight between Tennessee and Bama that the Tide have taken. I think it's 16 with Arkansas now, and 23 is the record with Vanderbilt, if you even want to count that. So that would be probably the biggest dividend. Not only would in the national perspective of the college football playoff, but Tennessee would get off that list that Arkansas and Tennessee fans both dreadfully won off of, and that's consecutive losses to your hated rival in Alabama.
Man, the third Saturday in October, that's always a big day. It's a big mark on the calendar for me every single year. And again, as long as I've been able to remember, it's not been of much relevance, but it took me till I'm 26 years old to finally be this excited about a football game.
There's some similarities, Tommy.
Do you have a cigar ready, Rocky?
Oh, buddy.
You got a cigar on standby?
I'm ready. Let's fire this thing up.
All right. Good.
Ready to go. Yeah, there's some similarities. I'm sure Arkansas fans would love to chief a cigar after finally beating the Crimson Tide for the first time since 2006. And there's some similarities between the Razorbacks and that, not just because of the streak. They do not like the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's the big game going on today. What you guys got going on here at Randall Ford outside of this beautiful Ford Lightning front that I'm sitting in this morning? It's a front tailgate, y'all.
Exactly. We're looking pretty comfortable over here. You got the cushion set up nice and neat. Man, we've got a ton of inventory. We're finally getting some new vehicles here on the ground. Said new vehicles come with incentivized APRs, which is excellent. I know that right now everybody's heard about interest rate hikes, things of that nature. But right now, we've got some 2.9%, some 3.9% interest on new Ford products, being F-150s, Explorers. I've got some Escapes. I've even got a couple of Mustang GTs here, one in a really cool eruption green color. So I've got some inventory right now, along with those incentivized rates to make it worth your while.
Yeah, we've got a variety of different things. You guys have Escapes, you guys have Expeditions, Ford F-150s. You mentioned the used inventory right now, over 225 vehicles, the half-ton, three-quarter-ton diesels. I mean, whatever you're looking for, you're going to have it at Randall Ford.
Exactly, and all brands included. I mean, we're not just a Ford lot. I mean, I've got several Rams, some Chevrolets, GMCs, Nissans. I've got a 1-ton Ram out here with a diesel in it begging for a new home. I mean, we're open. We've got tons of different brands, tons of different vehicles here to try to make this just a one-stop shop.
And you have several under $20,000 cars that payments under $300 a month for someone that might be getting a new vehicle for their son, their grandson, their granddaughter. this is the place to come check it out.
That's just it. If you're looking for a cheap payment on a newer vehicle to you, I've got a ton of them right now. Even if you're looking for maybe a cash vehicle, not looking to invest a monthly payment on your side of things, I've got a couple of cash cars here right now too. All of these vehicles do go through a multi-point inspection, ensure they're going to be safe for you and your family to drive.
It's like 100 and some odd.
I believe it's in the somewhere around 140. Tons and tons of points. We check all your brakes, belts, hoses, tires. I mean, we want to make sure that this thing is not just going to last you from here to the end of the week, but from, a lifetime.
You heard it from Rocky. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Good luck to your Vols today.
Appreciate it, buddy. Go Vols.
All right, that is the other game that's being alongside. Tommy, do you have your ESPN login set up? Are you going to have that on in the press box at Lavelle Edwards while you're watching the Hogs and the Cougars today?
Well, I'm going to try. I'm hoping they'll have it on a TV in the press box. I don't know what the internet situation will be like over there to watch that. But, yeah, I've got my login ready to go because that's a game we'll all want to keep up with today. And I don't know, is it the most meaningful game? There's an important one with Penn State and Michigan early tonight. There's a Big 12 game that matters a lot with Oklahoma State TCU. Yep. So, that's a key game down at TCU. So there's three big games in the top 25. A lot of top 25 matchups, but a lot of I think I heard Ruskin saying this yesterday. I don't think there's ever been a weekend in the history of the polls where 3 5-0 or better teams have played each other inside the top 25 in 3 different games. So this is critical today.
I saw that.
The direction some of these divisions and conferences and the national landscape's headed, this is a big weekend that's going to separate men from boys.
I believe I saw that same stat that Derek was alluding to earlier this week.
And you got 5-0 Syracuse taking on 5-1 NC State. That's just outside of that. So it's could have been 4, but obviously NC State and Clemson couldn't have been that. Clemson is 6-0 taking on Florida State, who's 4-2. So, I mean, you got another one that's just outside. You got one team with 1 loss in that game. So, a lot of good football today.
There's a good chunk of college football that we'll get a chance to watch, and kind of the center point where we'll come back to is what's happening in Provo, where Arkansas right now is 3 straight losses, 3-3. You'd love to go in the bye week and get that 4th victory so you can be above 500 and not have to be thinking about that all weekend next week. You were talking about red zone earlier, KJ being back. I would just think that KJ's presence alone will be a big boost for this football team.
Well, I mean, I think he's a rising tide that lifts all the boats. I mean, he'll give players on the other side of the ball, special teams, defensive, just more confidence that he's back. Their leader is back. So, I expect the defense to play better today because KJ's there. And I know that doesn't make – you can't connect that dot directly, but I just think when you have a quarterback gone, it brings everybody down.
I need some energy from that defense. I think we saw in the first 3 games the jumping up and down, the sacks, the various things, and they haven't had as much to cheer about these last 3 games, but you have to sometimes inject some energy into yourself. And they haven't done that these last 3 games, even though when they've made a play or two. Maybe the Alabama Nudie McLaughlin pick would have been one, but you've got to bring it. You've got to show that you might give up some points today, but it's going to be a little more difficult, and you guys are not going to be lethargic, which it feels like it's been that way the last 3 games.
Oh, I agree, and I think this is a game where we've made this point throughout the week on the Morning Rush. The O-line needs to take over. I mean, this needs to be one of those like we were talking about a few weeks ago in the A&M game where they were just battering their opponent. And that's what Arkansas needs to do today is it appears all the strengths and weaknesses match up from the standpoint of Arkansas can run the ball and BYU doesn't stop the run very well. Arkansas needs to impose their will in that area. Arkansas doesn't stop the pass very well, but BYU, they're known for throwing the football. That's their strength. So that's going to be the interesting watch today is I think which defense can do their job. If BYU stops the run and Arkansas can't run the ball, it's game over. And Arkansas is going to lose their 4th straight. So Arkansas is going to have to find a way defensively to not let Hall have a great day.
Yeah, Jaron Hall's a capable quarterback. He's going through some injury stuff. I think it was his shoulder, if I remember Shepard saying that earlier this week with the Give Me the Hogs Chuck podcast. And that's something that quarterback, and it is, I think it's throwing shoulder, right, Tommy? I think that was the case.
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong on that. So that's something that you have to deal with as a quarterback consistently. It's not one of those things where it's my leg, I'm less mobile or whatever. It's something you basically use almost every single down, with the exception of maybe occasionally when you hand the football off using whatever. So keep an eye on his health today, because and it's not like you want to go for his shoulder, but if Arkansas gets some hits on him, some licks on him, maybe he's not the same capable quarterback that we've seen at points this year.
No, I think you'd like to get some pressure. And Arkansas has been a big point of conversation coming out of last week's game with Mississippi State, is getting that pressure on the opposing quarterback. Can Arkansas do it with rushing 3? Will they drop 8 today? Will they change the scheme? That's the other thing that will be an interesting watch the first time the Arkansas defense is on the field, is what will the scheme be today? My intuition would you'd think you'd kind of stick with what you've been doing, even though you struggled with Will Rogers last week. Jaron Hall's a good quarterback, but let's be honest, he's not Will Rogers.
Well, I think you stick with that until he starts carving you up. If he does, then you switch it up. You cannot do what you did last week and expect to win the football game. If Hall is repeatedly ripping you apart up and down the field, then you cannot stick to what you did last week. I don't care if you think that you could give up more yards or more big plays, because you saw it firsthand that didn't work. Now, I say it didn't work. You also, as an Arkansas defender, particularly at the DB, you got to catch the bleeping football. 3 or 4 opportunities last week where Arkansas could have come away with an interception, the most notable being Hudson Clark and Malik Chavis. Guys, you have to catch the football in those opportunities. I know you're not a wide receiver, but golly dang it, Tommy, you got to get your hands on that football, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say coaching didn't have the right scheme in some of those plays, because they had the opportunity to make the play. Players have to make stops. They have to make tackles, and then when they got a chance to intercept the ball, they're not going to go 5 for 5. But, a couple would have turned that game in a different direction. So, I mean, there's things you can point out, but execution's got to be a little better in those moments. Some of those were tip balls that you were diving for that, you really needed the football gods to smile on you to make a couple of those last week. But what would two interceptions on Rogers have done for that football game and the way it played out? So, yeah, that Arkansas's got to have some good fortune there, and hopefully you'll get an opportunity at a tip ball or two. And let's face it, Mississippi State had every break go their way, from penalties early in the game that Arkansas committed with the jumping offsides, kicking the ball out of bounds to start the game, to a tip ball in the end zone that the guy on a full-speed break to the corner pylon comes up with it kind of in the crook of his elbow. I mean, those are just things that just did not go your way last week when just the breaks got handed out.
I'm live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tommy's live at Bam Bam's Barbecue in Provo. Tommy, were you sampling some sauces during the break? Is that what I heard?
They got sauces on the table. They got a kind of a vinegar-based sauce. It's thin, and they got a kind of the regular sauce, then a sweeter, more bold and sweet sauce. So it's pretty good, and hopefully they're going to be bringing some stuff out from the kitchen here in a little bit. But Bam Bam's the place to go if you're pre-gaming today and you're listening online here in Utah. Come on over and see us at Bam Bam's Barbecue. Just put it in one of your map apps, and you'll come find us here. We're about 2.5 miles from Lavelle Edwards Stadium.
Maddie, it sounds like that we should be expecting some barbecue sauce being brought back home to us. Doesn't that sound about right?
I mean, I do love a good souvenir from the travels.
Yeah, well,
I'll
see they got some for sale. I don't see any. I don't see any bottles for sale, but maybe I'll talk to Marcus, see what I can do.
Do they have a dry rub?
I don't see a lot of their stuff on sale, but maybe I haven't discovered that yet here in the restaurant. So I'm gonna tell you, if you've been to Wild Horse Barbecue in Salisaw, this place is
That's
similar
cool
in the
joint.
nature. It's picnic tables inside, the wooden picnic tables. That's the kind of seating. It's the sauces right on the table. It's that one of those sauces kind of similar to theirs. They put the meat on your tray at the counter, weigh it out. Hey, how you want a quarter pound of brisket? Fine. They chop it up, slice it up, whatever you want. This is an old school. This is how you do it kind of barbecue place.
I just want to get a pound of pulled pork with barbecue sauce all over it, and I just eat it with a fork.
I'm just telling you, if they made cologne, I said this earlier, if they made cologne that men would love to wear, it would smell like this place.
Well, listen, I may not be a variety of things, but when it comes to potential restaurants, when we go on road trips, that is one thing I'm actually decent at figuring out through a variety of sources, and I figured you'd enjoy and Arkansas fans would enjoy that place. So, again, Bam Bam's Barbecue in Provo, 2.5 miles from Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Still a lot to get to here on Arkansas Game Day. We'll talk more about these other great matchups that Tommy alluded to a little bit earlier. Your calls and texts at 877-377-6963. It's Arkansas Game Day live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Stop by and see us at Randall Ford if you're in the mood to go retro. And when I'm talking retro, I mean a early 80s look on a truck that is brand new. We have a 2022 F-150 setting right out front. This thing's had the two-tone paint added to it. It's grabber blue with the center silver. Has the KC lights that's been added to it. It's been lifted and leveled. The old school looking tires and wheels on it with a brush guard and the running boards on it. This truck is a one-of-a-kind. Come see it today at Randall Ford in Fort Smith.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
No MSRP markup. At Road Chevrolet, we never price a vehicle over MSRP. Other dealers in our area mark vehicles over MSRP, taking advantage of the times we live in. Not Road Chevrolet. We believe in being honest and looking out for our customers. Wouldn't you rather get a great deal you can feel good about from a locally owned dealership that cares about more than just profit? Before you pay over MSRP, let us show you what we can do. Find new roads. Road Chevrolet, just off I-540 exit 28 Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
What matters most to your family can now cost less when you choose comfortable, reliable, and efficient natural gas heating, water heating, cooking, and clothes drying for your home. You make the right choice in today's environment. High-efficiency natural gas appliances can reduce your monthly costs. And right now, you can save even more with heating and water heating rebates from AOG. Visit AOGC.com today and get more comfort for less cost.
Hey, where's the rest of the beer?
I'm probably out unless you clowns brought some.
Well, I've already had 3. Who's going to get more?
Order it from your phone.
From where?
Sody's delivers.
You mean where my girlfriend gets her wine and those cheese plates?
And if you don't want to drive, that's where you can order it. My free beer is gone.
Sody's now delivers inside Fort Smith city limits. Just order from mysodys.com or download the Sody's app and order from your phone. Sody's Wine and Spirits. Experience different.
Why do people do business with First Western? Because First Western builds relationships with all of their customers. They partner for the long haul to help you with your financial goals over all seasons of life. First Western is prompt, responsive, and they deliver with quick answers and on-time loan closings. When is the last time your banker called you? If you are looking for a high level of service and a financial partner who will listen and respond, try First Western. For more information, visit them online at firstwestern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, the sweetest fruits of life come from serving others. And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
When you need to customize your ride, whether for work or play, check out River Valley Truck Outfitters. Full line of LED lights for your headlights to work lights, B&W hitches, toolboxes, ladder racks for all your work needs or play, grill guards to full front bumper replacements, full line of WeatherTech and Husky floor mats. Let River Valley Truck Outfitters get your window tinting on. Best prices and quality in the Fort Smith area. River Valley Truck Outfitters can get your ride ready on Highway South 71 on top of Rye Hill. 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Burnham, bad snap. Ball's on the ground. Inside the 5. Burnham's going to fall on it at the 3. A bad snap, and Arkansas is going to have it first and goal to go.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
You know, we're back here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Now, Tommy, here at Randall, Jimmy's going to start whipping up some burgers, dogs, and other things here soon. You've got something that Marcus has already whipped up for you. You can tell by Tommy smacking a little bit. He's pulling to me eating during the show, and I don't blame him based on the picture you just sent me.
Yeah, Marcus has taken good care of me here at Bam Bam's. I've got a meat platter he brought out that's got 2 thick slices of brisket on it, probably a quarter pound of this pulled pork. I haven't touched the ribs yet. They brought me 2 ribs and then some sliced turkey breast. And they made all of this morning. Marcus got here at 3 in the morning, and that's what they do. They make the barbecue every morning. I'm going to tell you, Arkansas's got good barbecue. This is right up there with as good as you're going to eat. And you can tell they use white oak, and you can it's the real deal. You can taste the smoke flavor in every bite. It is really good.
I just sent it. So I've got 3 groups of friends that are there right now in Provo, and I just sent them that picture. So you might have a bunch of millennials at some point walking over to Bam Bam's and coming to see you. I know you had a bunch of Arkansas fans that Marcus were talking about there last night. How's the food been down there? It sounds like you've been satisfied at the Red Iguana, there at Bam Bam's, and some other places too.
Yeah, I've tried to hit some of the iconic places. The day I went to the national parks, I had a pizza. That's really the only meal I ate that day. But, Utah is a beautiful state, and, if you're thinking about something different for your vacation or whatever next year, you ought to plan a trip out there. And if Arkansas ends up playing here in a couple of years again, I think it's 26 that it's on the schedule. If that survives all this conference realignment stuff, it's a place you ought to put on your schedule to get to someday. So I've really enjoyed the time out here. And I've spent most of it south of Salt Lake City, but it is just a really, really neat place.
Now it's telling you that I was surprised at the reception that we received in Starkville. I had several Arkansas compadres that I was with last weekend. There wasn't a single time where I felt disrespected or some drunk Mississippi State fan was making a you-know-what of himself. They were awesome. What has the reception been like from we heard from Mr. Shepard earlier this week, a bunch of Ted Lasso fans. Is there a bunch of Ted Lassos down there, Tommy?
I hadn't seen any of that yet, but and I'm not sure I know what I'm looking for in that instance. But, I mean, the people have been really nice. I mean, everybody's been friendly here like you'd expect. I don't think Utah has ever had a reputation for being anything other than friendly. So, I mean, it's been the kind of place it's different than the South. I mean, it's not going to Tuscaloosa or going to Athens or going to Knoxville or someplace like that. The traditions are different here, but it does have that college town feel. There's 2 huge games. I mean, you got Utah and USC just up the road. That's 2 top 20 teams playing. Arkansas and BYU here. It's got the feel of some real college football in the area. You can tell because there's about 4 fan bases right now that are chomping at the bit today, just right here in a very 30-mile radius.
Yeah, there's a good contingency of football fans in Utah, and you might have to help me pronounce their head coach's name, but I think he was the DC at one point for the Utes, and then came over there in Provo. It's not like BYU is lacking star-studded guys. I mean, we've talked about Ty Detmer, Steve McMahon, Steve Young. I mean, they've had some guys that have come through that football program over the years that are pretty prolific passers and players.
So you haven't mastered Kalani Sitake this week?
Kalani Sitake. No, I have. I'd be lying if I said I would have butchered the absolute you-know-what out of that if you hadn't just laid it out so flawlessly and perfectly right there.
But, yeah, he's BYU graduate, and, but you're right, their tradition with quarterbacks here, going back to the guy whose name is on the stadium, Lavelle Edwards, who took this program from literally nothing to what it is. It's pretty incredible what BYU has built here. There's a poster here at Bam Bam's that lays out every game of the 1984 national championship, and you can see where they played Pitt, Baylor, Tulsa, Hawaii. You go all the way through it. The last two games were rivalry games with Utah and Utah State in the regular season. Here's the thing that stands out to me. You know what bowl game they played in and won and were claimed national champions in 1984?
Rose Bowl?
Holiday Bowl.
Wow.
That's how college football's changed. I mean, they played Michigan in the Holiday Bowl, won that. I mean, you just would never see your national champion come out of the Holiday Bowl. So, I mean, that's just one thing that, kind of raise your eyebrows. People in your age group don't realize, that's just the way it was because all voting in the polls and the bowl structure was much, much different back then. But, yeah, I mean, they weren't a Big Ten team or a Pac-12 team, so or back then it was Big Ten and Pac-8, I guess. You wouldn't have gotten into the Rose Bowl. So, I mean, that's to me the unusual thing is, you won the national championship out of the Holiday Bowl.
BCS began in, the 90s, Tommy? Does that sound
BCS,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think 96 or 7, somewhere in there.
Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, and that was kind of how they determined it. And so 64, you beat Nebraska and Alabama, lost to someone. I'm forgetting the bowls but like the AP and the difference. Yeah, different
Arkansas
polls.
was in the Cotton Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird, different setup for how they used to do it, and now it's transitioned from the bowl championship series to the college football playoff, and we might even see some more. I'd say we might. We're gonna see some even more expansion of that in the what was it 2026? Is that what it was, Tommy? I can't remember.
It's got to be by then. I think so.
By
I think
then? Okay.
They got the presidents and chancellors on that, oversight board have basically given them the ultimatum to get this done, expand the playoffs.
I got you. Texted from David saying that BYU plays differently at home they do on the road. They're much better at home than they do when they are away from Lavelle Edwards Stadium. They already have a good marquee win against the Baylor Bears earlier this year, and this is kind of their big game before the rest of their season kind of lines up a little bit. Anytime you have an SEC opponent coming into town, Tommy, it's a big deal, and they would love – I know Arkansas's lost 3 straight, but they would love to have another marquee win on their resume today.
Yeah, the other thing, these are two second-half teams, particularly fourth-quarter teams. We saw last week BYU fall behind to Notre Dame and then make a comeback in that ball game. But that'll be the other thing. Does one team have an edge late in the ball game over the other? You'd expect, even if you fall behind a little bit early, both of these teams have shown the ability to impose their will late in the ball game. So that's another thing to watch out for today in this matchup.
Tommy, they're giving up like 175 yards a game on the ground. I mean, if you're Arkansas and you can't run on these guys and you're supposed to be this blue-collar, tough football program, you need to reevaluate yourselves. And I know it's a road game, and I know it's not going to be easy, but you should be able to run on these guys. I mean, the collection of games that they played, even if they won, you can run the football on them. So Arkansas, whether it's K.J. Jefferson, Rocket Sanders, A.J. Green, Rashad DeBinion, Dominique Johnson, you should be able to have holes created by your offensive line later on this afternoon.
Yeah, their rushing defense is number 100 in the country for BYU. Arkansas's rushing offense is the 11th best in the country. So what gives today in that? Does Arkansas do what they've been doing? If Arkansas can't run the ball today, they struggle to get a couple hundred. Well, I know at least 150, and probably Arkansas needs to be closer to their average of 233. They need to today. You got to be over 200 yards today. So if you can't impose your will in that, it's probably curtains for the Razorbacks. Now numbers can lie. If you get some short fields, turnovers create scoring opportunities. Closer to midfield. Sometimes the numbers don't match up, but today Arkansas needs to be well north of 200 yards and impose their will on the Cougars.
Another thing that we addressed earlier, kind of in the first one or two segments, is red zone. Like Arkansas, yardage-wise, they've been pretty good this year, total offense. But then you look at that red zone statistic and you want to throw up like you had some bad fish because it's been bad. And I know you couple in Malik being in the game last week, that doesn't help you when you had 2 drives inside of that red zone. You came up empty twice. But there's been some issues, and everyone points to that KJ Jefferson fumbled A&M game. They've got to be better in the red zone starting today. This needs to set a tone for how they convert their opportunities because they've had them, Tommy. They just hadn't been great when getting to that point.
Ball security, we saw it in the Missouri State game. We saw it in the A&M game. Got to take care of the football in the red zone. I think you've got to show the ability at some point to pass the ball once you get inside the 5 or 10 yard line, because really opponents right now don't respect your ability to pass for a touchdown deep in the red zone, and that's what packs everyone in and has made it tough to find running lanes for either KJ Jefferson at times, or we've seen it with Rashad Dubinion came in and couldn't get it into the end zone last week on that 4th and goal situation. Arkansas tried to pass on 3rd down. The pass was errant. So I think Arkansas has trouble throwing the football in tight windows. That's a problem they need to solve when they get in the red zone.
Trey Knox, where you been, buddy? And I know that's not all on you if you're open and you're not getting the football, but that should be your zone. You're 6'5", you're a mismatch, or 6'5", 6'6", you're a mismatch tight end. That's your area. That's where you tell KJ in the huddle, throw me the football. I don't care if some small cornerback or safety's on me, or I don't care if a small line or a slower linebacker's on me. That should be Trey Knox's area where he says, give me the football. Hopefully we see a little more out of him today.
12 catches, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. Refresh my memory because I didn't bring every box score. Wasn't his 2 touchdowns in the first game?
Yep, 100%.
And only 2 of the year. So, I mean, that's absolutely where you need someone to be a little more dominant, be that sure-handed, reliable pass catcher from your tight end spot. So when he got off to that great start to begin the year against Cincinnati, you thought this was going to set a trend of things to come with Trey Knox, and so far it has not panned out the rest of the way.
Last text before we go to break. This is from Todd in Blytheville. We need a focused, angry KJ Jefferson to show up today. I think he's going to be very focused. I don't know about the anger aspect you're referring to, Todd, but I think that he was hacked off that he couldn't play in his home state of Mississippi last week. Now, he'll get to play against Ole Miss, which is, I think, more the team that he wants to beat. But I think he's going to come out with somewhat of a small vengeance today. He hasn't liked how the last 3 games have played out. 2 he participated in, 1 he didn't. I think KJ, the focus is going to be there. I just wonder about how the feel will be for the game since he didn't play last week in Starkville.
I always find it interesting. I want to be angry. I don't make my best decisions and perform my best when I'm angry. So I understand you want people to take their vengeance out on the opponent today, and football's a game of emotion, but anger's not always the best emotion you need to have at quarterback. You need to be a little more focused than that probably.
Yeah, I would attest to what you just said and agree wholeheartedly. I do not make my best decisions when I'm angry or ticked off either. We're here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tommy is at Bam Bam's in Provo, Utah. When we come back, take a look at some of the other great games we have on the slate today, including Alabama in Knoxville to take on the Tennessee Volunteers in the Cigar Game. More Arkansas Game Day coming up.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
In the field, the right partner can make all the difference. One that's dependable, straightforward, and is there when you need them. That's LG Seeds. From our hybrids and soybean varieties to our service and support, reliability is in everything we do. Start this season right with LG Seeds. Talk to your local dealer or visit lgseeds.com for more information.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
The Tackle Box just opened up a new box of Wapsie fly fishing supplies. Hackle, tungsten beads, lightning strikes, and mustad hooks. Marabou, chenille, vices, fly tying starter kits, bucktails, and more. Everything for beginners and experts alike. Tackle Box also has a freezer full of frozen bait for all your fishing needs. Skipjack, squid, whole gizzard shad, carp chunks, perch, and more. Be sure to visit them online at tacklebox.online.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Goodbye, banking with limits. Hello, banking as it should be. The mobile apps from Arvest Bank give you the power to bank how you want, when you want. Pay bills, send and receive money, deposit checks, and lock your Arvest debit and credit cards. Need a mortgage? Get pre-qualified and track your loan's progress. You can even text your own personal banker and not have to wait on hold. With mobile apps from Arvest, say goodbye to limits and hello to possibilities. Arvest Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your local premier dish dealer is World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. Local and premier, two words that mean a lot because, Ben, you get all these offers in the mail. You get all these telemarketer calls. With all these great offers, you can match or beat any of those offers here at World of Wireless.
Just bring the mailer into our location, 601 Church Street. Our name's listed on a lot of those mailers you're getting. Whatever it says, bring it in, let us look at it. We can save you money, lock in your rate for 2 years, get you free installation, get you up to 4 receivers, up to 6 receivers installed into your home absolutely free. But you got to call us at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. That's a toll-free number, but a local company. Or come by and see us right at the light next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
And local's key because you got local installers that have been doing this for more than 25 years that will come to your home, not some random guy no one's ever seen before.
That's right. They're local. They've been doing this for a long time. We're going to take good care of you. Bring those mailers in. We'll take care of the offer.
877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Burnham, bad snap. Ball's on the ground. Inside the 5. Burnham's going to fall on it at the 3. A bad snap, and Arkansas is going to have it first and goal to go.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
And we're back here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. You need to come by and see the full-size Broncos that they have in stock, F-150s, Escapes, Expeditions, over 225 used vehicles here at Randall Ford. And they have vehicles right now under $20,000 that will be $300 or less per month. So if you're looking for a vehicle for your son, your daughter, your granddaughter, your grandson, your niece, your nephew, you're going to find it here at Randall Ford. And also, in addition to all that, they have a 1-ton Dodge Dually in stock right now and a variety of different things. I'm sitting in front of the Mach 1 Mustang. I'm also doing the show this morning from the front in the Ford Lightning. You're like, Ty, what was the front? Well, it's a front tailgate. We're going to be doing the rest of the show here from that.
I'm just going to tell everybody you're wearing a frump while you're doing the show. That's going to be.
I'm wearing.
I'm just going to get the words mixed up.
Well, I'm wearing my typical polo and
that
khaki
doesn't make
shorts
a good
get
story,
up.
though. You let the truth get in the way of a good story too often.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, as my old pal Greg Pogue used to say. That was one of my favorite phrases I think I've ever learned from him later on. All right, so we have.
I'm looking at one of those. Advice. I'm looking at a picture of that frump. Where do they put the engine at?
I think it's under the.
It's not in the back, is it? It can't be. There's a bed in the back.
It's under the vehicle, right, Dalton?
It's an
under
electric,
the vehicle.
Right? It's an all-electric. So.
Oh no! I've never seen anything like that before.
It's under the vehicle
it's
as well.
All electric. So.
What they're saying. So, but yeah, it's pretty
Those
cool.
electric
all right.
Vehicles will get up and go. I mean, they will boogie in a hurry. So.
All right, games on today. We talked about Tennessee, Alabama. That's the 2:30 game that's being played alongside you. And I know there's a lot of national attention being paid to that game, as there will be in, I guess it's Ann Arbor, where Michigan hosts Penn State. You've also got Oklahoma State and TCU. Tommy, you talked about it a little bit earlier. Derek's been pointing this out. First time ever in college football history, there's been 3 teams that are 5-0 or better that have met in the same week, all inside the top 15 as well.
Yeah, and then just outside of that, Syracuse is 5-0, hosting 5-1 NC State. That's 18 versus 15. So you got 4 really good college football games today. Our focus, of course, is on Bama and Tennessee. That's not going to decide the West or perhaps even decide the East if Tennessee wins today, but it's going to go a long ways to help setting the first college football playoff poll that will come out. So these are some huge games in 4 different conferences today that are going to go a long ways into helping that committee decide who should be in that top 4, 5, 6 range when their first polls come out here in a couple of weeks.
It just changes up the landscape in college football if Tennessee is able to beat Alabama today, because the expectation would be, well, Alabama and Georgia, they'll either go unscathed until they meet each other in Atlanta, or they might lose 1 game apiece and then they'll beat. But if Tennessee is able to mix things up and somehow, some way beat either Bryce Youngless or Bryce Young Crimson Tide squad, guys, that kind of resets what we know the SEC is, even though Alabama could still make the championship. Tennessee's got a lot to earn today on that field at Neyland Stadium.
Yeah. Here's another interesting game today. 3-3 Oklahoma, who's 0-3 in the Big 12, is hosting 19th-ranked Kansas, 5-1, 2-1 in the league. Oklahoma's a 10-point favorite in that game today after getting smacked around and blown out by their rival in Texas last week. Does Oklahoma come out and exercise some demons, or does Kansas keep going? I know they've lost 1 to TCU. That's an interesting game today to see how Oklahoma rebounds after getting smacked around last week.
I don't remember if Dylan Gabriel is playing today or not. He's the transfer in for UCF for the Sooners. They've had some issues with Brent Venables in year 1, and when you lose 49-0 to Quinn Ewers in Texas, it's very hard to explain that to your fan base, and I know that's frustrating for him, but Tommy, this is not a basketball game. It's a football game. Oklahoma should win this game running away today, but Kansas has been one of the surprises of college football this year.
Yeah, so interesting, though. I mean, the odds makers have Oklahoma a more than a touchdown favorite today. So that game's at 11 o'clock this morning, so another one of those games you can check out. It's on ESPNU, or ESPN2, rather, and should be interesting. I think Oklahoma bounces back big today and probably wins by more than the 10 would be my guess.
I would think so. I mean, you're playing in Gaylord Memorial, Oklahoma Stadium. I mean, you should win this game going away today. And I know that Kansas, as we just talked about, they have been better than they typically are. I can't remember. I think the last time Kansas has been ranked on the football field was 2007 when they had Briscoe and Todd Reesing. But you're Oklahoma. Start acting like it. And this is a kind of a way to get back on track. Now, I'll say this about Texas. They played Alabama as good as anyone's played them all year, as Texas A&M did last week. They got the win against Oklahoma, and they lost a game to Tech earlier this year without Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is every bit the quarterback that he was coming out of high school. The South Lake Carroll guy, Chase Daniel, Greg McElroy. Texas has a path. I don't know if it's to get to the college football playoff, but they do have a path to win the Big 12 this year, even though they've lost that kind of early game to Texas Tech.
I don't know how many fans that are here in Utah will make their way up the road to Salt Lake City, but tonight Utah and USC just up the road. That's an evening game tonight. You could double dip today. You might miss part of the front end of that game, but you could see Arkansas and BYU at 1:30, then work your way up the road for USC and Utah tonight. So 2 really big college football games right here in about a 30 or so mile radius. Is number 20 Utah hosts number 7 USC tonight.
That's going to be a good game. Utah's got the best passing defense in the Pac-12. Caleb Williams, who's a Heisman contender transferring from Oklahoma, playing under Lincoln Riley again. He's been really, really good this season. Utah's got at least – I know they lost to Florida. I can't remember if they've lost another game this season or not. But, yeah, that's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah,
2 different – they're 4-2. I can't remember who their other losses to, but 2
UCLA,
different – UCLA. So they've lost – they have a chance to beat another California – UCLA's undefeated, I think, right now, too, under Chip Kelly and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. But, yeah, that's going to be a fun matchup in the Pac-12 tonight, especially if the Pac-12 wants someone to make the championship. USC is probably their Cinderella team.
Yeah, so it's fun. You know, it kind of reminds me of the time in 2006. Arkansas didn't fare well against USC, but Oklahoma played UCLA up the road, and there were some that were on that road trip that went to the Rose Bowl and to the Coliseum in the same day to see both of those games. So kind of a rare chance when you're on the road to see another big-time college matchup out here just a few miles down the road.
Still a lot to get to here on Arkansas Game Day. 877-377-6963 is our number. Tommy's live at Bam Bam's Barbecue in Provo. I'm live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. It's Arkansas Game Day here, ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Stop by and see us at Randall Ford if you're in the mood to go retro. And when I'm talking retro, I mean a early 80s look on a truck that is brand new. We have a 2022 F-150 setting right out front. This thing's had the two-tone paint added to it. It's grabber blue with the center silver. Has the KC lights that's been added to it. It's been lifted and leveled. The old school looking tires and wheels on it with a brush guard and the running boards on it. This truck is a one of a kind. Come see it today at Randall Ford in Fort Smith.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
You never know what you're going to walk up and find over the hill at the Tackle Box. They've got new arrivals of ammo just in time for the hunting season. Browning 223 50 grain for $19.99 a box. 22 250 soft points for $29.99 a box. Remington 30-06 for $29.99 a box. While you're there, be sure to check out all their fly tying supplies and all the frozen bait you'll ever need for your fishing trips. Be sure to visit them online at tacklebox.online.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
This is Matt Blaylock for Blaylock Heating and Air and Plumbing Services. We are proud to be a locally owned and operated Fort Smith-based business for over 35 years. We've seen many changes since 1983, but one thing that has stayed the same is our mission to provide the highest quality products, sales, installation, and service to the people we serve, and to give our customers every reason to accept and recommend Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services as their heating and air and plumbing company. To get a red truck rolling your way, just give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Burnham, bad snap. Ball's on the ground. Inside the 5. Burnham's going to fall on it at the 3. A bad snap, and Arkansas is going to have it first and goal to go.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Back here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tommy, you still got College Game Day up on the screen there?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes,
think
they're
about to
picking
make
games now.
They're about to make the Tennessee-Alabama selection. You think Corso puts on the Old Smoky, or you think he puts on, I don't know what Alabama's mascot is?
Well, they'll put the elephant head on.
Well, I like
I
their,
think
their actual name.
He's got Peyton Manning sitting to his right, so that'd be a lot of pressure with all of those Tennessee fans behind you. And, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in both levels sitting immediately to your right to put on the other team's headgear. I'm going to predict Corso bends and goes with a home team to be popular today.
Did we give him a battle in 97, Peyton, or did we get slaughtered? Because I know we almost beat T in the national championship team in 98. Everyone knows what happened. We beat T in 99. Was that 97 game close, or did we get housed?
I need to go. I don't know. I'd have to go look that up. I think all of our memories with Tennessee were wiped out in 98. So
after that point, yeah, I mean, 01 was a great game. We're excited. And if you haven't heard, Matt Jones joining our team here at ESPN Arkansas. We know how fun that 2001 game was between the Vols and the Razorbacks when he was quarterbacking down there in Knoxville. That is a game, Tommy, I still wish Arkansas played. I have never seen a game in Neyland Stadium, got a chance to see Knoxville on the way to Chapel Hill this year. I would love to, and they're not going to do it, but if the SEC somehow in some way kind of mix things up, I would love to see us play Tennessee again every year.
Arkansas lost to Tennessee in 97, 30-22 in Little Rock. So.
Oh, that was actually close. Wow. That's kind of surprising. I figured Peyton Manning hang 50 on us, so at least they gave him a game that day. Yeah, it's hard to when you're sitting next to him.
Manning went 20 of 35 with an interception, 3 touchdowns, 264 yards.
Okay. Well, they actually gave him a game that day.
Clint Sterner was 23 of 37 for 194. So.
Okay. Back in the day, 1997. Yeah, old SEC days. Yeah, it's changed a little bit. We know that. It's going to change even more when we have Texas and Oklahoma being added and how they shake out. And we were kind of talking about in the summer, Tommy, when is Sankey and company going to announce the schedule? Are we going to see that before the SEC championship game? Is it going to come next year? What do you think that's going to happen for?
Which schedule are you talking about?
Like the SEC, how they're going to go about with the scheduling purposes for football.
Oh, I mean, we already got next year's schedule, but I mean, as far as whether they're going 9 games or all that, I'd like to see them make a decision sometime, before the bowl games. But I don't know that they're, what's the hurry? They've got to get these schools in a position though to get their non-conference schedules lined up.
And that's kind of what I was thinking about in regards to that. All right, 30 more minutes of Arkansas Game Day before we hand the reins to Phil, Gino, and Rick. Again, we're live here at Randall Ford.
The Party Place is in their new location at 1415 South Zero. 50% off Halloween decor. Hurry in while supplies last. The largest party supply store in Arkansas. Costumes starting at $9.99. Large animatronics, masks, wigs, fog machines, lights, and more. 10% off for veterans, teachers, and first responders. Now in their new location, 1415 South Zero by Atwoods.
Stop by and see us at Randall Ford if you're in the mood to go retro. And when I'm talking retro, I mean a early 80s look on a truck that is brand new. We have a 2022 F-150 setting right out front. This thing's had the two-tone paint added to it. It's grabber blue with the center silver. Has the KC lights that's been added to it. It's been lifted and leveled. The old school looking tires and wheels on it with a brush guard and the running boards on it. This truck is a one-of-a-kind. Come see it today at Randall Ford in Fort Smith.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. That's it for today. Bud Light, crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Ride without compromise. CF Moto's brand new U-Force 1000 XL with 2 3-person bench seats to haul more rear ends as you haul butt. Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma has the perfect CF Moto for any road you choose. Get some serious mud on the tires with aluminum rims, custom paint, power steering, and a 3,000-pound winch. No wonder the CF Moto is Auto Finders' best-kept dirty little secret. Ride without compromise at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Visit a complete list of inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert in Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
If you're particular about your lawn, when nothing else matters except those perfectly cut stripes, that is your defining moment when you know you want a Skag zero-turn mower. Simply the best, hands down. When no other mower will cut it, stop by Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma and pick out your new Skag zero-turn mower and be the envy of your neighborhood. Come by today to see the full lineup of Skag zero-turn mowers at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma.
Hi High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service is all about God, family, and our country, and they proudly display the red, white, and blue. At High-Tech, they specialize in truck and trailer repair, service, and are certified in refrigeration repair. And every day, give thanks to those who have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for folks like you and me. High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service, located in Van Buren at 6410 Alma Highway or at 479-474-2220.
Fall has arrived. That means woo pigs, tailgate parties, apple festivals, and pumpkin spice and everything nice. Don't miss the fun because your car won't run. Drive into fall with automotive maintenance and repairs you can trust from W&W Automotive. This is Mark at W&W. We offer affordable repair solutions for all makes and models, foreign or domestic, including front-end work and alignments. Call me or Kelly at 242-1600 or come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Are you an experienced concrete finisher? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forest is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForestGrin.com. GoForestGrin.com. Apply now at GoForestGrin.com. Are you an experienced dump truck driver? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forest is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForestGrin.com. GoForestGrin.com. Apply now at GoForestGrin.com.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America. Arkansas Game Day is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics.
Looks downfield, got a man wide open at the 15, complete. That's Hazelwood, cuts back at the 10, into the end zone, touchdown Arkansas.
Our coverage is presented by High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service. Find them at hightechtruck.com. Washita Farms. Lark is available in 4 amazing flavors in 200 locations throughout Arkansas. And by Crabtree RV. Let's go camping at crabtreerv.com.
You're welcome to get in here at 877-377-6963. Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, and Matt Travis with you. 30 more minutes of Arkansas Game Day. I'm live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tommy is live at Bam Bam's Barbecue in Provo. Now, Tommy, as you've kind of walked around and seen a few folks these last couple of days, how many fans are we expecting to set foot in that stadium that are going to be wearing red later on this afternoon?
I think there'll be somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 fans. I've seen a lot of families here. I know there's a lot of people I've read on social media that have been delayed in airports and had travel issues getting here and hopefully are here by this morning. But I saw a lot of that this morning when I got up and was just checking Twitter and Facebook. So I think there's going to be a good number of fans here. And for a road game outside of the conference, 4,000 or 5,000 in a location like this I think is a good presence. It's a stadium of 63,000. They're having a white out today. They're going to wear their road jerseys. So I presume Arkansas is wearing their home reds today. So it will be it's going to be a neat setting. I was over at LaVelle Edwards yesterday afternoon, and the way that stadium sits right up at the foot of the Wasatch Mountains in the background, it's as picturesque as anything you're going to see. So I think the Hog fans are coming out to see the beauty of the stadium and hopefully a Hog win today.
Yeah, I've seen several pictures inside the stadium, and it is unbelievable. When you talk about backdrops, Tommy, like you're talking about, there might not be a better one in all of college football. And, of course, we're partial to what we get to see in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. But it's nestled in a great spot. But, man, oh, man, that scenery there is just breathtaking.
Yeah, and it's not an imposing stadium. This is a stadium similar to like a War Memorial as far as size. It's a little bit larger than that, but as far as construction, not a second deck that goes around it. It's not one of these stadiums that's just stacked on top of itself. So I think you're going to see a good atmosphere today. It's a chance to take in something unique and different for the fans that make the trip out here, but I don't think it's going to be it's not going to intimidate the Razorbacks, who have been on the road in places far more imposing than what they'll face today.
Yeah, that's not Death Valley. It's not Bryant-Denny.
Nope.
It's not Athens, Georgia, and Sanford Stadium. It's a cool venue. And it's a place that you, like many others, would have had on their bucket list, and they're getting to cross off today. But when you talk about fan atmosphere, and I don't want to belittle these guys because I think they're going to be loud, but SEC just does it better, man. It was like we were looking at the numbers. Like, example, when Arkansas was in Athens last year, and then Penn State hosted, I think, Ohio State or Michigan, whatever the case may be, and it was a top 10, top 15 matchup. The decibel level was like 20 points between Athens, Georgia, and Penn State. It's just louder. It just means more, Tommy, in the Southeastern Conference.
Well, there's more rivalry, more people. I mean, not that Utah and Utah State and BYU don't have some rivalry here, but this isn't the hotbed of college football. But it's going to be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it. Glad I made the trip. It's been well worth it to get here and just see what it's all about in a different place, a different setting, and I think today's going to be very entertaining for those that made the trek out. So. And
I know you guys have missed Chuck the last Wednesday and Friday this week. He will be back for the game today, Tommy. I know if you haven't heard, if you're just now hearing this, Chuck lost his mom earlier this week, but he will be back on the game broadcast today. So I'm assuming it will be a pretty emotional broadcast for him later on this afternoon.
Yeah, our thoughts are with him and his sister and their family at the passing of his mom, and he'll be back with us Monday on the morning rush. He'll be back with this podcast on Monday. So, looking forward to hearing him today, and I look forward to seeing him in the press box today.
And it'll be a good set. Now, help me on this. Matt's going to start doing some stuff with Chuck, right? That's correct.
Matt Jones, yes.
Yes,
that's the plan. Yeah,
that's the plan. He's going to do
looking forward to maybe hearing him some more on the podcast, breaking down the games. So, we're looking forward to that in the next, maybe as soon as this week. So,
we mentioned this, and if you haven't heard, Matt Jones now doing halftime with us. Really excited to have him aboard. It was just cool. He stepped out of the studio yesterday when I got back, and I hadn't seen him in a handful of months, and it's just good to see him again. He was in good spirits. He's ready to be back doing radio. And Tommy, I'll give you credit. That was a good ad. You've added Chuck, you've added Matt, and we seem to be steamrolling ahead here on ESPN Arkansas right now.
Yeah, I also got to say, great job, Tommy.
Well, thank you, Matt. And, adding someone to the team that, has been there, done that in a couple of sports at Arkansas, don't pat me on the back too hard. That was an easy decision when it became available.
You didn't have to think about it too hard.
Well, no, I mean, I had to go find him and create the conversation and make it work. But, hey, if he's ready, willing, and able, it was not. That's not a hard decision. I've made much harder decisions in my 18 years at the helm here.
We were talking about going to eat lunch and maybe playing some golf this week. I have yet to play golf with Matt. I played water volleyball with Matt, but I would guess, guys.
Ty, don't ruin it. I mean, he just started. Don't ruin it and make him want to leave already by trying to take him to the golf course and
he was
have
the one.
with him.
He was the one that was asking me, man. So
he was just being friendly. So
I don't know. He asked me and then he texted me. So I think he actually wants to. Now my golf game's horrible, so he'll be able to win no matter what. But we'll. I kind of want to see. I would guess Tommy as a guy that's 6'6" and as athletic as we've seen him on the basketball court and on the football field. I would guess that he probably can strike a golf ball pretty decent as well.
Well, most athletes that have that hand-eye coordination that's at next level usually excel in most of those hand-eye coordinated sports. So I imagine he can get it around the golf course a little bit. So
just a little bit.
Looking forward to his insights. I mean, let's just be honest. He's going to see things that the rest of us don't see. He's going to be able to tell us what's happening from a perspective of credibility that. From being there and doing that, and I'm glad he's part of our team and on our roster.
I'm kind of surprised. I've got a handful of listeners that have texted me pictures from the golf courses they've been at Utah this week. I'm kind of surprised you didn't try and go play golf out there. Apparently there's some pretty nice courses, and I'm surprised I haven't seen a picture from you.
Now, why would I want to go and ruin my vacation by playing golf? It's not been a vacation, but why would I want to ruin this trip while with golf getting in the way, just making me angry? So, no, this has been the thing to do has been, really just enjoy what Utah's about. Southern Utah is just incredibly beautiful with Arches National Park, Canyonland. I didn't get over to Zion and Bryce, so I'll have to do that at some other time. But there's just some real natural beauty here in the state of Utah.
Yeah, it's based on the pictures that you posted. I'd say that. Maddie just sent us a picture. Phil just posted. He's at the stadium right now, about to jump on here in ESPN Arkansas in 20 minutes. And, man, that just getting to see, kind of like we were talking about the stadium and then what the other places that you've gotten to see. I would say that you've gotten your fill-in of scenery this week.
Well, I mean, I think you could spend a week here and just, really take it in. I don't have that kind of time, but yeah, it's there is something, and I didn't get north up. I got to Salt Lake City, didn't get up to the Great Salt Lakes, didn't get over to Park City. Just simply didn't have enough time to see it all, so I had to pick and choose. But there's something in both directions from Salt Lake City. But I'm telling you, if you get down here to Provo and Orem, this place I'm at now, Bam Bam's, and you guys know how serious I take my barbecue. This is as good a plate of meat that's come off the smoker I've ever seen. The ribs, the turkey.
I actually heard you say something I never thought I'd hear. This is better than anything that I can make.
Oh, I couldn't cook anything this good. I mean, this is, and I'm not just, blowing smoke here just to pump these guys up. I mean, this I'm telling you, if you're here in town, you're gonna be here anytime soon or here now listening online. If you're not coming before the game, you ought to get here to Bam Bam's after. It's as good a barbecue as you're going to find, and we got some great ones in Arkansas, but this would be top shelf in Arkansas.
It looked good from the pictures. I'm a little jealous. I think me and Maddie are too.
Tasted better than it looked.
Well, there you go.
You know how I am. I'm very picky about my brisket. I'm kind of a brisket snob connoisseur, and this was Marcus served up as good a brisket you're going to have. The ribs are perfect. The pulled pork's great, and then the sliced turkey breast was incredible as well.
877.
I couldn't even eat half of what was on that plate.
Oh well, now I'm disappointed.
I don't think that's probably going to travel well, unfortunately.
No, I don't think it probably will.
Yeah, that's a good point, Matty. 877-377-6963. We got one more segment here on Arkansas Game Day. If you want to call or get in here, you're more than welcome to. This is Arkansas Game Day live, ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
The Party Place, Arkansas's largest locally owned party supply store, now has 50% off all Halloween decorations. Hurry while supplies last. A large selection of costumes available all year long, starting at $9.99. Animatronics, accessories, makeup, masks, wigs, and so much more. 10% off for veterans, teachers, and first responders, and now 10% off when the Hogs play on game day. Shop local at your locally owned Party Palace. Locations in Fort Smith, Rogers, and Conway.
Stop by and see us at Randall Ford if you're in the mood to go retro. And when I'm talking retro, I mean a early 80s look on a truck that is brand new. We have a 2022 F-150 setting right out front. This thing's had the two-tone paint added to it. It's grabber blue with the center silver. Has the KC lights that's been added to it. It's been lifted and leveled. The old school looking tires and wheels on it with a brush guard and the running boards on it. This truck is a one of a kind. Come see it today at Randall Ford in Fort Smith.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
If you are looking for a tractor to fit your farm or property, from landscapers to ranchers, take a look at the all-new Bad Boy tractors, built tough to be a workhorse in the field. Bad Boy has a history of combining power, performance, and quality, and you will find that in every tractor they sell. See your local Bad Boy tractor dealer in Western Arkansas, Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma, or visit almatractor.com.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert and Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
No MSRP markup. At Road Chevrolet, we never price a vehicle over MSRP. Other dealers in our area mark vehicles over MSRP, taking advantage of the times we live in. Not Road Chevrolet. We believe in being honest and looking out for our customers. Wouldn't you rather get a great deal you can feel good about from a locally owned dealership that cares about more than just profit? Before you pay over MSRP, let us show you what we can do. Find new roads. Road Chevrolet, just off I-540 exit 2A Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Do you have concerns about the integrity of your roof? Liberty Roofing of Fort Smith and the surrounding area is here and ready to serve you. Liberty Roofing is here for all your roofing needs. Quality roofing services, licensed, insured, and certified. Give Liberty Roofing a call at 650-6231 to get started for a free roof inspection and estimate. Call 650-6231. Liberty Roofing is here to tend to all your roofing needs. Let Liberty Roofing cover you. Check us out on Facebook.
The fastest internet you can find in rural Arkansas is from Wave Rural Connect, and we're bringing it to you. The Piney substation will open for orders Monday, October 24th. If you live near Pleasant Valley, Bullfrog Valley, west of Dover, all the way up to Booger Holler, Wave is coming to you. Fiber internet, TV, and phone in your rural area from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Call World of Wireless if you've recently lost your internet service in the Paris-Subiaco area. World of Wireless, a local internet provider providing service since 2015 to rural Arkansas. We cover areas east of Fort Smith, south of Fort Smith, and rural areas with high-speed internet with plans starting at $49.95 a month. But you got to call us, World of Wireless, 478-6616. It's 478-6616. If you've recently lost service from your internet provider in and around Subiaco and Paris, call us, 478-6616, or go to wowfastinternet.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Burnham, bad snap. Ball's on the ground. Inside the 5. Burnham's going to fall on it at the 3. A bad snap, and Arkansas is going to have it first and goal to go.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Our last segment here on Arkansas Game Day, live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tommy is at Bam Bam's Barbecue in Provo. We've got Billy now here from Randall Ford. We've got a lot of good college football games today on, Billy, and I know you're excited to see what's ahead. Also got some exciting things here at Randall Ford. We're in the Ford Lightning right now in the frump. Explain to people what a frump is, Billy.
It's basically just a trunk in the front there, and you've been hooked up for 2 hours and it hadn't used anything. This thing is something else. You should come out and see it. It's really something special.
You guys also have the full-size Bronco. That's one of the more popular vehicles that you guys have been selling as of late. It's kind of got the Jeep-ish feel, but it looks a lot better and cleaner.
It's cleaner, and it'll definitely give the Jeep some competition for sure.
And the F-150s we know is the best-selling truck in the industry. You guys have got a bunch of new ones here on the lot right now.
We've got, I think, 10 on the lot right now available. No waiting. You can come take it home today.
Exhibits. I mean,
brand new Expedition sitting down there, the beautiful pearl white color, and it needs a home today as well.
Plus the over 225 used inventory vehicles, Billy. That's a big deal that you guys not only have a bunch of Ford vehicles here on the lot, but a variety of other brands, makes, and models as well.
We've got Dodge, Chevy, we've got Toyota Tacomas, Tundras. We got a little bit of everything out here for people.
So how are we feeling about the slate of college football today? What do you think about the Hogs and the Cougars?
41-28, Arkansas.
Wow, that's a score right there, Tom. You think Arkansas can hang 41 on the Cougars today?
Oh, they can. They run the football, absolutely. The 28's the part I don't know about. Can they keep BYU to 28? So,
That defense is going to be a big question mark today. Well, Billy, we appreciate you stopping by, man. Again, come by and see us at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Good stuff from Billy Hines here at Randall Ford. Yeah, Tommy, I think we said it last week. We thought in order to beat Mississippi State, you had to at least score 35 points. I kind of feel like it's in that same range today, maybe the rest of the season. Offense has got to score at least 5 touchdowns for you to have a chance from here on out.
Well, control the clock. Maybe if you can get a day where you can have mid to upper 30-minute time of possession, limit the drives for BYU, use your offense as the defense, and that's not really Arkansas's MO. They like to run the tempo, but maybe if Arkansas can chew up some time and limit a possession or two for BYU, you can get by with 35 or so points. I think you're going to have to score somewhere near 40 today to win this football game.
Yeah, and doing it there would be nice. It'd be nice to see the offense just kind of go off today, where the defense is helpless against. We referenced the stat earlier. BYU's given up 175 yards per game. What did you say? It was right out of 100 at the country, Tommy? Something like that?
Yeah, 100th in the country, yeah, statistically. So, if Arkansas can't run the football today, they've got no chance to win the football game, right? You'd have to have a couple of non-offensive scores. I think it'd help today if you could get a special team score. We saw it with Bryce Stevens, get a pick six, something today. But it's going to take something special like that today if this thing gets tight. Arkansas, hadn't had a non-offensive score in a few weeks, and it's about time to get one.
Yeah, and I know that Hall's only thrown 2 interceptions. I think that's the only 2 turnovers that the Cougars have had this year. They're good in the turnover margin, but we've just been advocating defense, turn someone over, sack somebody. They haven't done that in these last 3 games. Maybe get 1 or 2 bounces to go your way in Provo.
Yeah, need that. Got to have a clean game in special teams. Maybe you don't score a lot of points, but you can't kick it out of bounds to start a game. Get off on the wrong foot there. Got to block everybody up, not let anything happen on punts or a field goal or point after attempt. So just need a clean game from a special team standpoint as well.
Special teams-wise, Cam Little, we know that what you're going to get out of him today. But, man, your punt return coverage, your kick return coverage, your net punting, it's been horrendous this year. Outside of the top 120 in all those categories. And I'm thinking Reed Bauer's going to be your starter today unless something changes. He'll be punting, and you've got to get better when it comes to covering punts and kicks. Otherwise, BYU's going to have great starting field position. It's going to be a lot easier for Hall to score later on today.
Yeah, absolutely. So just take care of business. I mean, you should be able to make some hay at the line of scrimmage. So hopefully the offensive line will kind of saddle themselves up with responsibility for today and keep this team in the ball game. I think it as usual, it starts up front. If Arkansas can run the football with their running backs and their quarterback, I think it's going to be a day you got a chance to win a football game on the road in a unique setting.
Yeah, and unique is, man, putting it lightly. I know that you're excited. Now, have you stopped by Lavelle Edwards Stadium yet, Tommy? Or have you just driven by? Like, have you walked around? Have you just been doing a bunch of other stuff?
No, I've been to the stadium. I mean, I was there yesterday afternoon and put some pictures on our social media from there. So it's a picturesque setting. The Wasatch Mountains, the stadium's built up almost to the base of the mountain. I mean, it's not very far at all. So, I mean, it is as, I guess the Rose Bowl with those San Gabriel Mountains in the background has something similar. But these mountains, I mean, are literally, right at the gates of the stadium on the far side from what you'll see from the press box.
That's awesome. Where's the press box at the game? Or are you just going to go down and sit with some friends?
No, I'm gonna sit in the press box today, but that's the best view is back at the Wasatch Mountains, and they're going to have a commemorative helmet today that kind of has the Wasatch Mountains on them for BYU. So, they're putting a lot of effort from a fan standpoint. This game's been sold out for several days now. It's going to be a big crowd today here in Provo.
That helmet that you're talking about, it's got a cougar on it. It's really cool, man. I'll give them credit for what they're going to be sporting later on today. I think it's a really unique design that we'll get a chance to see. You'll get a chance to see in person. Some of our other fans and listeners will too. But I think it's going to look really good on TV for BYU later on.
Yeah. Then we're back after the game. I'll be here, at the stadium or over at Lavelle Edwards Stadium following the game today. And Ruskin and Zach will join us. We'll have Hog Reaction coming up tonight. So we'll react to whatever we see today following the game about 1 hour after the game concludes here in Provo. We'll be back with you to take your calls, your text, and get your thoughts on today's game as well.
So I know what we've been talking about all week and what fans have been hitting at. What do you think Pittman's message to the guys have been this week as they get closer and closer to this bye after the game? What would you say if you were Sam Pittman coming off 3 straight losses?
Well, my message would be don't panic. I mean, I think you're a good football team. You haven't taken care of business. Don't panic. Go take care of business. I think Arkansas knows they can run the football, as we've hit on all morning long and all week long. Take care of business in the running game. Take care of the football. Arkansas's mistakes in that have led to their opportunity to win football games when they should have, like the A&M game. And last week was more about injuries than mistakes. Those are the things you got to avoid. So, I mean, I think we can all live with the loss to Alabama. It's the A&M loss that stings a little bit more now, and it's understandable what happened last week when playing without your quarterback. But you got to get back on track. So my message would be take care of business. Don't panic. Let's go win this football game.
They can do it, man. You've got an SEC caliber roster. You've got a team. You've got what I think is the better quarterback between the two. I know KJ's coming off this concussion, but I know this game's listed as a pick'em right now. Arkansas should win this game today. And if you're Sam Pittman and company, that should be the message to your team. Say, guys, I don't care this game's at Provo. I don't care about that we've lost secondary. We should win this game today. And I think you'll see them come out and do it later on starting at 2:30.
All right, been a great time behind enemy lines. Got one more show here from Utah. Our coverage brought to you by High Tech Truck Refrigeration Services, DOT inspections, truck batteries, trailer lighting, unit swaps, 24/7 roadside assistance. They do it all. Find them at hightechtruck.com. Hey, if you're tailgating today, the go-to is on the shelves now throughout Arkansas from Washita Farms. It's called Lark. It's a new seltzer with just the right amount of THC. In CBD, you'll find Lark's flavors throughout the state, more than 200 locations. Find out more online at larkhemp.com. And by Crabtree RV in Alma, check out their huge sale going on this weekend. Crabtree RV, I-40 exit 13 behind the Cracker Barrel. Let's go camping at crabtreerv.com.
All right, for Tommy Kraft and Matt Travis, I'm Todd Richardson here live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Coming up, Phil Ellison, Gino Bell, and Rick Schaefer on the Learfield pregame. They're live in Provo just like Tommy is. It's next here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
In the field, the right partner can make all the difference. One that's dependable, straightforward, and is there when you need them. That's LG Seeds. From our hybrids and soybean varieties to our service and support, reliability is in everything.